This video is sponsored by Elgato Gaming. If you guys want to see how we record our gameplay and all the other equipment that we use, then you can click the link in the description box down below to check out more. Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise PC, and today I want to put together a list of 6 awesome weapons that you should consider picking up. I mean, in fact, this video will of course be useful for those of you on Switch as well, but I would imagine by now a lot of you guys have completed or at least played a ton of the game on Switch. You probably have all of these, but if you're starting out on PC and this is your first time jumping into the game and you want to get an idea as to a few handy weapons that maybe you should look out for, then these are awesome. So if you guys do enjoy this video, then a like would be super appreciated. Obviously only listing 6 weapons means we haven't covered every single weapon archetype, so if you like this format and you want to see more, let us know in the comments down below, and of course don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future videos. It's also worth noting that not necessarily all of these are meta, so to speak. There are plenty of videos online on the absolute quote-unquote best weapons if you want to go super meta. Sometimes in Monster Hunter it's also about enjoying things because they're either really cool, customizable, or just give you a different way to play the game. So, kicking it off at number 1, not in the slightest bit biased, but your boy is a fan of Sword and Shield, so we're going to start with the High Ninja Sword. This is, first and foremost, a badass looking weapon. Really cool because the blade looks awesome, the shield is effectively hidden because it's basically a bracelet, so that means when you're using the shield bash combo, which, if you guys are picking up Sword and Shield in Rise, is a very efficient, very high damage way to play the game, then this basically means that you're punching monsters in the face. Instead of using a shield to do shield bash, it looks like you're literally punching them in the face. However, stats-wise, this weapon comes with 100% affinity, so when you think of it like this, it's basically a low-cost way to get affinity, which is awesome. Plus, it does have huge green and good blue sharpness, and again, if you are playing Shield Bash playstyle, keep in mind your sharpness only depletes when you are using the blade, so it's actually very possible to keep this maxed out all the time. So if you then want to lean heavily into, say, like a Slugger or just like a KO playstyle in general, then it's a lot of fun. Basically, it's a fun, pretty good weapon. Again, might not necessarily be statistically the highest damage, but this is a very potent choice. Moving on from there to number 2, the Phantom Mirage. One for the longsword users out there. Of course, this comes from Chameleos, so if you are starting your PC adventure, it might be a little bit further until you actually encounter this one, but this is a very cool weapon. Again, before we even talk about stats, it's just a cool looking weapon. It's an invisible blade. I mean, what is not to like? You have it on your back, and it looks hidden, suddenly you draw it and you've kind of got this ghostly shimmer that of course embodies the cloaking aspect of Chameleos. That being said, this does have good raw damage, not the highest, but it is still pretty high. It can also have white sharpness with a tiny bit of handicraft. It has 15% affinity, also has nice slots as well. Sadly, no poison, unlike other Chameleos weapons for some of the other archetypes. That would have been a very sweet addition, but regardless, this is a nice longsword. Moving on from there, one for the bow users out there, we have the Rampage bow. Now again, there are plenty of fantastic bows. This video is not going to go through an exhaustive list, but the Rampage bow specifically is really cool. It's fully customizable. If you guys haven't had a chance to test out Rampage weapons yet, I highly recommend you do so. They are better for some weapon archetypes than others, and generally what you find is they're really useful for weapons like bows, sometimes bow guns, even hunting horns, which we'll touch on later. Weapons that typically have a variety of ways you can use them based on coatings and various other things like that. So for that reason, the customizable aspect of the Rampage bow makes it very appealing. Also, thanks to an update which came later on in the Switch version and is now present in the PC version from launch, you can also skin your Rampage weapons with other weapons, so you can take a really cool looking bow, maybe like the Valstrax bow, and you can make it look badass. That being said, you can of course load this with the shot type of your choosing, spread, rapid, pierce. It also makes elemental bow much less daunting, given that it is easier to fill gaps. And while again, other bows might be better in, say, super specific situations, the freedom the Rampage bow offers you, the fact that you could of course very easily just swap things in and out to fit what you're fighting, makes this a very compelling choice. Moving on from there to number 4, the Night Owl Light Bowgun, the Nagakuga Special. This is basically one of, not the only, but one of the cheese bowguns. If you guys are looking to take something down with minimal effort and you just want to hold down the trigger and laugh as the monster basically gets taken out, this is one of the weapons for you. Of course, it does hinge on also having the appropriate build for it, but this is a very nice bowgun. It allows you to rapid fire pierce shots. Of course, you want to be using pierce ammo 2 for this one, meaning you can basically sit there and, of course, provided you are firing down the length of the body of the monster, you are doing some seriously good damage. I'm not someone that normally enjoys using bowguns. I just never have. It's just not been my thing. But honestly, with this, it is a lot of fun. So if you're new and maybe you are struggling to fight some of the sort of later monsters, or you just want a way to very quickly farm things, then consider grabbing this because it is a very, very relaxed and easy way to take out monsters. You'll also want to throw the long barrel onto the bowgun, but set this one up and you can have a lot of fun. Moving on from there to the fifth one, the hunting horn. Again, the rampage one. Much like I said earlier, there are plenty of great hunting horns, but the rampage one, the customizable nature, also makes it very appealing for the hunting horn. Again, you can of course skin it with your favorite looking hunting horn weapon, but the nice thing about this one, of course, you have the potential to get high attack, white sharpness with a bit of handicraft, and some great songs. That's one of the nice things about hunting horn. Of course, typically when you're crafting them normally, you will have to have that sort of trade-off between the songs you want versus the stats. This time around, you can kind of have it all, to a degree. You can customize the songs to fit your playstyle. The Healing Melody 2 ones are fantastic because, of course, if you are using the horn passively, you just tend to get heals all the time, so it is very easy to just stay alive whilst attacking. That being said, if you want to lean more into the deeps, you can, of course, lean into the attack and affinity boosting songs, but the fact that you can, of course, swap the songs on the fly in addition to some other things means you basically have a pretty well-rounded, pretty comfortable hunting horn, so again, that is super compelling. And then finally, for the dual blades, the Raging Claws from the Feline Tree. These look hilarious. I mean, attacking the monster with a pair of cat paws is kind of hilarious. But one of the nice things about this one, and one of the kind of most compelling things for this, is the Rampage skill, which is Hellion, because this makes it so that all attacks whilst in Demon mode, which you'll be using a lot with the dual blades, are critical hits. But this does, of course, double sharpness degradation. Now, of course, again, there is a very nice build that goes alongside this to sort of maximize the crit and also kind of balance out the sharpness degradation. But regardless, the main thing is this is a crit beast. These weapons are fantastic. They also have paralysis, which makes it mighty handy for locking down monsters and just general CC. With the right setup, this also means you can do incredible damage, and it also has a nice slot. So this is another fantastic choice. So there you have it. That's a little rundown on 6 awesome weapons that if you're jumping into Monster Hunter Rise for the first time, maybe beginning your PC adventure, or maybe you're just late on Switch and you're playing it now, either way, these are a few weapons you should consider checking out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if there are any cool weapons that maybe you think should be in this list, or if you just want to see more of these lists for other weapons, we can of course follow up very soon. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to catch more from us, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest uploads. And if you want somewhere to hang out, play games, or chat all things from games to anime, food to fitness, consider joining the HyperX Gaming Discord.